Hello. So, hi. This is my first time streaming specifically Tsum Tsum. I've had it on stream before, but today's just gonna be a chill day, kind of a test day for, you know, mobile games, at least tablet games, um, just to see if it works. I wasn't planning to stream today, to be honest, but I figure today's the last day of the current box. I have 3 more tombs to get. One of them is at a like 2% chance. So I figure why not give it a try and see if I can get it on stream. Maybe the streamer luck comes in because I haven't gotten any luck. RNGesus, grant your blessing. That's right. You are so right. Okay, let's see if this works here. Alright, can you tell me, by the way... Oh, by the way, hi Jason. Can you tell me if you hear the audio okay? There should be some background. It's a little loud? Okay, I'll turn it down. How's this? And it's honestly kind of okay if this music is a little quieter, in my opinion, because it's probably gonna get a little repetitive if this stream goes on really long. Later, if it gets really repetitive, I might put some other music or something. Yeah, the music itself is probably not gonna be as loud as the sound effects, so let me know. But yeah, so right now, we got some dailies we need to do, so we're gonna do that first. And unfortunately those, I can't use my best farming tombs, but we can use other tombs for now too. This is streamed from my iPad. I play this on my iPad, partly because my phone I use for face tracking for my avatar, and my iPad, I find it easier personally to play. Like, there are a lot of people who don't like playing on bigger screens, probably because you can't move as fast, which is true, but I'm not really going for score, I'm going for coins, which for the tombs that I have that are best for farming coins, you have to kind of... It relies on precision rather than on speed, so I like to have my iPad. Yeah, it's like a lot easier, I think, on a bigger screen, but because it's slower, like, you know, in theory, if you're really good at being precise on a smaller screen, then you probably can pull things off a lot easier because you can move a lot faster on a smaller screen. Oh, I forgot to ski. A blue sky tweet or whatever. Okay. My eyes are closed? Oh. Yeah, that's because I'm looking down. Maybe if I lean back a little bit. That's also something I was gonna ask you to look for, so thank you for letting me know. Because I figure it could be a problem if I'm looking down, it looks like my eyes are closed. They still are? Okay. That's okay. I mean, I'll figure something out. This is just a test stream anyway. But yeah, you can see I've got a little counter set up. I have a button connected to it on my stream deck so that I can count the number of pulls I make. Ooh, I can go back to my farming tomb. Gaston. Maybe if I look down with only my eyes. I don't think that'll work probably, but we'll see. No, they absolutely don't call them skeets, but I heard Julia call them skeets on the Drawfee stream the other day, and I'm like, I don't have a better name. Host sounds lame. Also, just to make sure I have it set up correctly, you only hear the sound of the game, right? Like, there's no other sounds happening right now, like music or anything like that. Because I haven't touched, like, the music files and sources and stuff on the stream for a while, so I want to make sure that I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, awesome. Yay! But yeah, so like the way I farm is using Gaston, and Gaston basically like he relies on the fact that you make so many Gastons appear that you can just connect the whole screen full, and longer chains gives you more coins. So it's better to be precise than to be fast, because like the amount of time you have, most people can only connect 3 chains anyway. And so in theory, the most efficient way to farm is to connect all the tombs on the screen, and I have a harder time doing that on my phone. There's also little things you can do with the big tombs because they count as 5. So on the screen you can have like 45 things basically, like 45 tombs, 45 tombs, bubbles, and big tombs in total. But big tombs count for 5 tombs, so they're actually really useful for making longer chains. Just like, cause you know, they're basically worth 4 extra small tombs. And so in theory, it's like you kind of cheat your way into around like 50 extra coins. Yeah, I think iPad is easier. But yeah, I've like figured out all kinds of little tricks to kind of maximize the coinage, but also I am not like amazing at the game, like super amazing at the game, so I still have stuff I can like do to improve, I'm sure. Slightly more? Okay. Does my mic sound okay? Am I too soft? Because based on the volume monitor, I don't think I'm too quiet. I'm good? Okay. Also, let me know if I'm peaking, because I realized on my recent stream that my audio was like hella peaking. So if you notice any peaking, let me know. Yeah, the game sounds can be a little bit noisy. And like, you know, as a fair warning, this is probably gonna be most of the stream. Like, it's probably gonna be a lot of just me doing this over and over, and then once in a while I pull and prage. I mean, if you don't notice, it's fine. Because I think most people probably don't actually care, but when I hear it, I'm like, I could have adjusted that better. Like, maybe my mic was too close to my face and things like that. That's all. So if you don't hear it, it's not a huge deal. I can tune it over time. Maybe after this, I will skeet real quick. Just so I have it out there. I don't know if it'll reach that many people. It's not like my account is big or anything. But it's worth putting out there. Ooh, tortilla chips. Honestly, I'm a fan of like plain tortilla chips. Like, you know, obviously eating them with salsa or guac is great, but like plain tortilla chips that are salted, hits. I like it. I actually recently bought a bag of tortilla chips that were like lime flavor. Oh wait, no, I told you I bought chips. I didn't tell you about the flavor. They're like lime and sea salt flavor, so it's like even by themselves, they're a little bit like tangy. It's really yummy. Yeah, aren't they good? Like they're like you can eat them so much. I can eat so much of them by themselves. And also I told you about how so just explaining for the internet's sake, because I told you this offline, but I bought like little cups of what I thought was guacamole, but turns out was basically just avocado. Like there's no onion or anything like that. It was just avocado and salt basically. So it's like that little bit of lime makes that work with the chips, thankfully. It's not just plain. It's not just plain chips and guacamole and that's it. You like them better without the lime? I mean, that's valid. I just think that the lime does taste good. Like, I bought them because they were on sale. Otherwise, I normally would just go for, like, normal chips. Just because then, you know, you can adjust the flavor a little more easily. Like, I'd never had these chips before, so I didn't know if I would like the lime. Yay, I'm done with the raffle for today, so now I can just farm. Farming all day. Yeah, the avocado definitely adds to it. Also, I do have a lot of like line friends, and I don't know them personally, but just cause I feel like it's unfair, and also maybe because they might be using their real names, I'm gonna like minimize the amount of time I reveal their names on stream. I doubt that my stream and Tsum Tsum will end up doxing anyone, but I don't wanna do that, just, you know, on my conscience. Oh, I forgot to skeet. I already forgot. Skeet sounds a little bit close to skirt, and that makes me... that tickles my funny bone a little bit. Because I have a broken sense of humor. Yeah, I mean, there's no, like, super revealing personal information, but I do have some people who, like, I suspect, like, you know, are using their real names, are using an actual profile picture of themselves So it's like, it's nothing too revealing. And, you know, they were willing enough to add some rando off the internet, but also they're probably not expecting that rando to be streaming Tsum Tsum. So it's like, you know. Ski is an actual thing in the Olympics? I don't know. I don't actually know. What is quote unquote the gun one? What does that mean? Because like they have multiple kinds of shooting events, right? I don't know. I haven't actually watched the Olympics in a hot minute, if I'm being honest. Like when I was younger, I used to be so into the Olympics, especially Winter Olympics, because I loved watching figure skating. But then over time, like, you know, combination of not having as much time to watch Olympic events on TV and stuff, and then like also just like learning about, like, you know, like there's like all kinds of controversies, like the swimming controversy with like doping and things like that stuff. I don't know. Ski is the one where you shoot a thing that's moving? Oh, okay. I didn't know what the actual name was. All right, let me just get on my blue sky and skirt. They use a shotgun on a clay pigeon? Why do I feel like I feel like the moment I see this, I'm gonna know what it is, but before I see it, I'm gonna be like, what is going on? Bam. Heated. Oh, okay, it's the flying discs. Okay, I do know what those are then. Those are called skeets? That event is called skeeting? Question mark? Alright, let's finish our daily star missions and then we'll start pulling. I stopped using the 5 to 4 bonus because I realized I can actually match the number of coins without needing it, but it is also significantly harder to get the skill loop going because there's less Gastons on the screen, it's harder to clear stuff, and I'm not very fast. Duck Hunt has a move on it, based on it in Smash, yeah. Isn't the whole game of Duck Hunt kind of just based on that in general? Also, sorry I'm a little sniffly. It's a little bit chilly. Pretty much, yeah, that's what I thought. Character is more meant to represent NES Blaster game. That's fair, yeah. Valid. Also, this is a glimpse. You've heard me talking IRL about farming tsums before. This is your first. I think this is like your glimpse into what my life is like when I decide I'm gonna grind Tsum Tsum. It's just a whole lot of this. The dudes with the guns, those are from another game. I thought those were like a Duck Hunt original, not gonna lie. Okay, I finished those missions. So I think since we have 2 that I'm going for right now, we're just gonna go for a pull every 2. Every time I have 2 available. Just cause it feels bad just grinding over and over. I want a pull, it's exciting. Alright, let's see. Bang! Okay, well, that's, I mean, you know, that's to be expected. It's 1 out of 12. Ooh! Wait, no, that's wrong. Damn it. I got so excited. I got so excited, but it's not the one I thought it was. It's half of what I need though, yeah. If only it wasn't a pair tomb. If only I could just put together an aerial tomb and a flounder tomb and have it become that pair tomb. Oh, I messed up. I can't loop it based off this. There we go. Miguel, I believe, is the main character from Coco. He's the kid with the guitar. I've never watched Coco. And it's okay, there's a lot of characters in this game that I don't know a lot about. Like, I only know they're Disney characters because of this game. So. Because they actually include a decent number of, like, old references. Like, they have a character named Wart. I forget what he's from, but I was like, I didn't know that, like, he was one of those characters where I'd seen him before. I didn't know anything about the character, didn't know the name or the media. And I was like, oh, he's a Disney character. I did not realize. I'm gonna rearrange my scene a little bit after this because I think I can pull the put the pull targets at the top of on top of where I am instead of in the bottom left. Make the screen feel a little less lopsided, maybe. TBD. Put these up here. Oops. Like that. Don't know if that looks better, but it's okay. This is mostly a test stream still anyway. Wart is the name of the villain from Mario Bros. 2. But there is another character named Wart in this game. I believe Wart's actually in this special box, maybe? Let's see. Unfortunately, you can't see me pointing at some stuff. Oh yeah, here's Wart. You can't see me pointing at it, but do you see that? Third down on the right. I don't actually remember what he's from though. Oh, didn't mean to hit the fan icon. The fan icon shuffles everything on screen. It's very rare in this game, I think, that you actually encounter a situation where there are absolutely no matches to be made on screen, but if you get stuck, that's what that's there for. But because the game is like not grid-based or anything like that, like all the tsums can fall individually, so it's like, it's very rare that you can't match anything at all. Sword in the Stone. I didn't even remember that that was the movie he was from. I've never seen that movie either. It's an older movie, right? I have to imagine it's an older movie, otherwise I probably would have heard of him. They call him Wart because it sounds like Art, which is his real name. So, like, is it supposed to be like Wart? Warther of Camelot? King Warther of Camelot, as Philomena Kunk might say. 1963, yeah, that's pretty old. Not as old as I expected, though. Didn't, like... Wait, no, never mind. I'm getting my years mixed up, I think. He came a lot, didn't he? Yeah. I love Philomena Kunk. Did you already finish the Kunk on Britain? I love all the experts in those episodes in the show, because it's like, it seems like they know that it's not gonna be like a super serious interview, like it's not a very serious documentary. But they have no idea what the questions are. I feel like I would not survive that interaction. I would probably have tears streaming down my face by the time we were done. My latte. It was also an awesome choice that, like, okay, so she did an interview once. I believe her Diane Morgan or Diana Morgan. That's the name of the actor for Kunk. And I believe she said that like they cut whenever like the experts laughed. And I just think it was a great choice to specifically have those experts not laughing and like answer everything as if they were serious. And like I remember you were saying that you didn't realize every single line would be a joke, and I'm like, yeah, right? Like that's kind of the best part. It's like literally every line is written to be like stupid in some way, and and I love it. Wasn't it like the laugh that they left in? It was very like it was very like Philomena Kunk basically being like he died and you're laughing like that kind of like the meme, that kind of attitude. I don't remember, like I think there's been at least 2 laughs through all of the Kunk shows that I've seen. But yeah, like I love it. I also love that at one point she asks one of like the political experts just like, what's the most political thing that's ever happened in British history? And I'm like, oh, that's like a hard question. And then the way she just sat there waiting for him to answer, and then in the narration they prefaced it by being all like, it was so controversial that that even like political experts don't know how to keep track or something. Yeah, I feel like Philomena Kunk's like MO is to just cause psychic damage. That's like her sense of humor. Most important or significant moment in its history, you have to pick one. Like, they're really just like trying to corner all of these historians in like the least serious way. Oops, I messed up my loop, it's okay. Oh, so it's not significant. The expert sighs and they cut. Like every single section with an expert, it just ends with like a shot of the historian with just like the deadest look on their face. And you can tell they're probably just trying so hard not to laugh. I think also one of the more memorable things that she's said in her shows is the Soviet onion. No, it's onion. I read it on a paper earlier. Like the experts are like almost like they feel so helpless. Like when they're trying to correct her and she's like, no, I saw it on the paper. And it's like, what are you supposed to tell someone like that, right? It's like, when you run into someone like that in real life, it's like, there's nothing you could do to correct them. Just the youngest anyone had ever died of old age. I love when she's like, thankfully, I forgot exactly how she said it. She's like, thankfully a good Samaritan caught the entire battle on tapestry or something like that. And I'm like, whew, good thing they were there with their tapestry making. All right, 2 more pulls. Let's go. Ooh! I got one! Ariel and Flounder! Woo! Streamer luck coming in. Easy peasy. All that's left, Miguel. Come on, Miguel. Make an appearance. Wait! Yeah! Four pulls. That's all it took. Easy. All right. It's time though for the big boy, Jack and Sally. All right, time to change my my targets real quick. This is the big boy that I've been aiming for literally like the whole month. Let's reset the counter since this will be a different box, right? Actual streamer luck. Yeah, thank God. Thank God I decided to stream today, am I right? Alright, I think I might just pull after every time I get enough coins for a pull, because why not? It's more exciting that way. now that I have it on stream, it's like, wow, I can celebrate my victory instead of just silently cheering in my own room like a maniac. Oh, I fucked up. No, there goes. So what I just did was very bad. I'm talking about this game as if it's like high strat pro gaming. For me, it is, I guess, a little bit. But basically, like, Gaston's skill lasts for a certain amount of time, and you can't charge it when you're in the skill. And the idea generally is that you're supposed to let go of the third long chain you make in his skill after his skill ends so that you actually can charge the next skill, which is why it doesn't matter as much how quickly you chain the third chain. And you can take more time to connect all the tsums on the screen. But if you let go too early, then you don't get any of them to charge your skill, and then all the random tsums come in, and then you have to charge your skill normally all over again, which takes a long time, and so that's a big loss in coins. You sent a celebratory popper in chat? Wait, I couldn't see it. The chat for YouTube in Streamlabs is not very good, is what I'm learning. I need to figure out a better setup for it, I think. I'll figure that out next time I stream. There must be a better way to do this. I appreciate the popper though, because that's how I feel right now. See, 5,000 coins. If I didn't mess up, would have been better. Client side thing? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd probably be able to see it if I opened like the chat itself. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and... Okay. I have the chat open in a thing now, so I can see that I might be able to see the popper or whatever when it comes through. Maybe. We'll see. I genuinely don't know how it works. We'll figure it out. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah. This is the way to start 2025 off right, with some good luck. Well, I guess good luck TBD. I still haven't gotten the 2% chance one. It floats up from like the little reaction button. Unfortunately, if I miss it though, like it doesn't stay for very long. So if I miss it, I miss it. I didn't mean to hit the bubble. Also, honestly, if at any point the music gets like hyper repetitive, I can turn off the music and leave just like the sound effects so that, you know, anyone watching the stream can like play their own music in the background while they listen. Oh yeah, I know about the Twitch thing. I don't know if there's anything like that for YouTube though. I'm sure there's a way. There must be a way. I think truthfully, I do want to set up chat on screen for certain setups like this. Like basically when I don't have a full screen game. I think for a full screen game, it's easier to not have chat on screen though. That one track in Mario Kart where you go underwater? Wait, let me Google this. I think I know which one you're talking about. Water park? Let me see. Ah, I just heard it. It does. It does sound quite a bit like that. Not that one? Wait, then which one? It's from the Wii? I don't remember. I'll look at it later then. In my opinion, though, it does sound kind of similar to the water park one. Personally. Koopa Cape. Oh, I will look that one up in a second. I haven't played Mario Kart in a hot minute. I've been telling you about how I watched Mario Kart for a while online, but I haven't played it yet. Marvel Rivals has been occupying so much space in my brain. If you're talking about optimally playing Baldur's Gate, I think that since it's like your first like full playthrough, like it doesn't really matter in my opinion. Like I think you should just try and enjoy the story. Like optimizing in like Dungeons and Dragons and like just like I feel like, you know, not everything is exactly the same between actual D&D and like Baldur's Gate mechanics, but I think it's like you should just have fun with it the first time through. Like I think that most choices you make in terms of, you know, character progression are probably like not a huge deal in the long run as long as you have like an idea of what you want to do. And like even then, it's like I think there are a couple of options you can take that are specifically for if you want to be a bit of a jack of all trades character. I'm no expert, but so if you ask me what it is, I don't know. Let's do another poll. If you ask me what it is, I don't really know, but I'm sure there are a lot of options out there. combat encounters aren't too bad, but you're not engaging with mechanics. Yeah, I think that knowing all your mechanics is, you know, that's kind of part of the replayability, which is like why it's also a great thing to me that like Baldur's Gate has made like the narrative also pretty replayable from what I understand. Like you have a reason to go back and experience the story in different ways rather than just in terms of like combat strategy, which I think is great. Oh, okay, I can explain that mechanic to you. Concentration, some spells require concentration, which basically just means that your character has to hold concentration, and you can only concentrate on one spell at a time. And then while a character's holding concentration, if you get attacked, then there's a chance that you will lose concentration. You have to make a Constitution saving roll, and the DC is based on the amount of damage that you take. So it's basically like, you know, you have to stay safe and not get hit, ideally, if you want to use a concentration spell, and you can only use one at a time. But generally, they're like very like good, in my opinion. Like they'll be like for example, I know a lot of cleric spells. Clerics have a lot of concentration-based spells that like buff their allies, for example. And then there are also some concentration spells for other mages where they'll do like a good like amount of damage as long as they maintain concentration. Yeah, Shadowheart should have a lot of them. I believe she starts with Shield of Faith, which is a concentration spell. I believe Guidance is also a concentration spell. Yeah, but it's like, you don't have to use it only when you know you're not going to get hit. Because technically, you know, if your character has a really good constitution and you're not going to take a lot of a big chunk of damage, then it's you can also pass those concentration checks relatively easily. So it's like, it's just that, like, you know, if you want to avoid the risk altogether, then you want to not get hit. And it's also worth thinking about, like, if you're, you know, I don't know, I don't remember, are you playing as the Warlock that you made? Because I believe Warlocks also have a couple of concentration spell options, but it's also worth considering that, like, since you can only have one concentration spell active at a time anyway, you probably don't want an entire arsenal of just concentration spells, so that's worth thinking about. I believe Guidance, it gives you a +1 d4 to all attack rolls. Attack rolls and ability checks, I think, maybe? But not saves. You'll have to read the wording a little bit. But it like gives you an extra d4 to add, I think, to most rolls you make in combat. Ability checks. Okay, so ability checks are like, I don't think attack rolls count as ability checks. But for example, outside of combat, if you make an intelligence check, arcana check, that kind of thing, those are ability checks. Oh, my headphones are out of battery. Hold on. I'll have to fix that after this. What else are ability checks? I'm trying to think what would count as an ability check for combat. I think, for example, hiding in combat, that would be like a stealth check. That would also count as an ability check, I believe. Things like that. Notably, though, it doesn't count, like, if it says ability checks, then it's not for saving throws. So those are different things. I believe saving throw has a similar spell, but it's a different spell. the blue abilities. I'm gonna be real, I don't know what that means in the context of Baldur's Gate 3. But if you read like spell abilities and like just abilities in general, it'll tell you, like, it usually will tell you if you're supposed to make an ability check, an attack roll, or if the enemy is supposed to make a saving throw. Dash, jump, shove. Oh yeah. So it's, well, dash is not a check. Oh, hold on. I need to do some technical work. Let me fix this a second. Is the sound back? Because I did a weird thing earlier. Yes, it's back. Okay. Dash is something different. Dash basically just means... Oh. Oh no. Ah. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry, everything's going wrong. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. I was having some technical issues. Oh no. Go away, BRB. There we go. What was I saying? Yeah, so if it tells you to like make an athletics check or make a strength check, something like that, guidance would give you that D4 for all of them. Like when it comes to D&D and Baldur's Gate, the tooltips are very like specific. Like usually the wording is I pulled on the wrong box. I pulled on the wrong box. I wasn't thinking, I autopiloted. That doesn't count toward the pulls then, I guess. But yeah, like the wording will tell you generally. Nar. I did get another aerial and flounder though, I guess. Whatever. I got distracted by my technical issues and then I was trying to think about Baldur's Gate and I autopiloted. Oopsie, my bad. It's okay. Not a big deal. Nah, you're good. It's fine. It happens. But yeah, like, the wording in D&D is generally very clear about things. And you know, Baldur's Gate is a programmed video game, so like, they're gonna have very defined rules about what works and what doesn't work with each other. Oh, are you talking about like when you initiate like a dialogue tree? Like sometimes it'll be like inspect the whatever, and then it'll be like you can make an Arcana check, that kind of thing. Because those generally are all ability checks. Like when you're in a dialogue thing, and like you know how in brackets sometimes it'll like give you an action and an ability. Oh, it'll give you a description? Well, then if it tells you in the description, then yes. Oh yeah, the tooltips are like very like nested. I remember that. Or you wish you had more multi-target spells? I'm not sure, but I think a lot of multi-target spells are like maybe higher level. And I think I'm not sure, like, you know, I'm not claiming to have that much knowledge about D&D spells, but I feel like warlocks in general, like in my mind, warlocks tend to be like single target. I don't know. I don't remember everything, ETH. But also sometimes it's not that bad to have single target, like because of how action economy works, where like every like creature on the field gets a turn. Like if you just focus fire and kill one specific enemy, then the enemies get less turns overall, which is better than like distributing that damage and not without killing everything in one go. Yeah, the way I see it is like AoE and like multi-target stuff is mostly for like strategizing. So like, for example, zoning off some enemies while you focus on one particular enemy at a time. Because distributing your damage over multiple enemies without killing any of them is not as helpful as just focusing and killing one enemy in one turn and then letting the rest do whatever. Like, I don't know, I'm mostly speaking from like a D&D perspective, because it's like, you know, in D&D, like, you have a DM, obviously, who's strategizing what the moves of the enemies are. I don't know how Baldur's Gate is programmed, but my guess is that, for example, if there's a zone that deals damage and an enemy can avoid walking through it, there are probably a good number of enemies where Baldur's Gate is programmed to be like, this enemy would not walk through that zone of damage, or this enemy would walk through that zone of damage. Like, it all depends. But I imagine there's something along those lines, so you can use AoE to like zone it. Yeah, spells to disable enemies. There's quite a few. Oh, I messed up. I wasn't thinking. This is what happens when you farm Tsum Tsum while distracted and thinking about other things, apparently. There are a couple of like clerics have quite a few multi-target like debuffs. I believe like Bane is probably in the game. There's no reason Bane wouldn't be in the game, but that's a spell that you can debuff multiple enemies with. Got Sleep on Asterion. Sorry, I'm like reading your messages between skill uses. Sleep on Asterion. The enemies can shove each other to wake them up. There's also abilities that inflict daze and prone. Yeah, I think it just comes down to like the strategy, because it's like, for example, like if enemies have to shove each other to wake each other up, then like you can think about it in terms of like using sleep to like take up one of their turns, that's good. Using sleep on an enemy and then focus firing to kill another enemy that could wake them up, that's also a good use, right? So I think it's like you just have to think in terms of like what can enemies do in like one turn. Like, I personally tend to strategize when it comes to combat. I think I tend to strategize one turn at a time, just because action economy is such a big deal in this in D&D and Baldur's Gate, where like if there are more enemies, then they're gonna get more attacks, which can be a big deal. Like, for example, if you have like one bigger enemy, maybe not like a full boss level enemy, because bosses can sometimes have like legendary actions and whatever. But if you have like one big enemy left that like hits for a decent chunk, you still only have to think about protecting one person, versus if you have a bunch of like smaller enemies, you still have to think about like, are they going to attack multiple people? Like, is there any way I could get them to attack just one person and then keep that one person safe, that kind of thing. I need to pee after this game. I drank my latte and now I have to use the bathroom. Yeah, I mean, it's important to keep in mind that I actually haven't made it that far into the game, so I don't know what battles are coming up. Like, I've only really seen very standard battles where like all the enemies are about equally important, and to say that they're all equally important is to say they're all like kind of weak enemies, it's just that there are a lot of them, that kind of situation. So I don't know what battles there are in the mid to late game in Baldur's Gate. I'm just basing this all off of my experience watching and my watching D&D, my little experience playing D&D. I messed up. Sometimes my brain just turns off when I'm playing. Ah! Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Be right back. I'm back. Okay. I think I will move this down a little bit. There. Alright. Let's do another pull. I just realized I have 30k again. This time pulling from the right one. Okay, I mean... Let me move my stream deck so it's easier for me to access while playing here. There we go. I mean, it is what it is, like Sadness, am I right? I love Sadness as a character, though. It gave me the appropriate emotion, true. Imagine if they gave me happiness, or not happiness, joy. That's her name, Joy. I'd be like, wow, I feel like you're targeting me right now. Disney Tsum Tsum. Hashtag real. I wonder how long this stream is gonna end up being. If it gets to dinner time and I'm hungry, I do plan to just like make dinner and then maybe come back and keep streaming. I will decide when time actually comes to make that decision. I mean, I'm not going to just be like, I might come back and then never say anything. I'll say it at the end of this stream. But hope I don't have to stream that long to get Sally and Jack. Yeah, I've been pulling like all month for them. Like, I've probably spent a total of like 150 pulls at least. What's one more month? Well, they're going away at the end of today. That's literally the reason I'm doing this. And they might not come back for a hot minute, because that's how the rotations work. Yeah, that's why I'm farming today. Because today is the last day, I figure I might as well try and go for it. Also, for what it's worth, at the end of the game, at the end of each game, the number of coins I have before like the final score screen, if it's between like 8k to 10k, that's like pretty good. Like 8k to 9k is pretty good, 10k is very good, and then anything below 8k, I would say I probably messed up somewhere in that game, and that's probably why it's relatively low. Like maybe I didn't build my skill fast enough. So just in case you want context for how well I'm doing in any given game. Like earlier I got like 5k in one game and it was because I messed up my loop, so I had to rebuild my skill in the middle of the game. Which is actually a big loss. Feels bad. But I would say I average around like 8 to 9k per game if I do decently. I need 30k purple, yeah. And the coin bonus you can activate at the beginning, you can activate before starting a game. It costs you 500 coins, but it multiplies your coins for the game by a random multiplier. And on average, that multiplier is apparently around like 1.3. So like an extra 30% coins or so. And the minimum is 10%, a 10% boost, 1.1. So it's like if you're getting at least 5,000, that bonus is always worth having. I don't think you plan to play Tsum Tsum, but you know, just in case. I just feel like I should talk, you know, because I'm streaming. I feel like I should talk about what I'm doing, right? See, like I already have 30k, but because I want to use the bonus to farm, I don't want to buy a box yet. So I'm just gonna play again. Yeah, it's really not the worst when you have... Because right now I'm using, like, the best coin farmer is the problem. Like, for the average person who doesn't have Gaston at skill level 6 yet, it can take a while to rack up those coins. So it's like, for a while, my goal in Tsum Tsum was literally just to get Gaston to level 6, which means, like, you have to pull, like, so many dupes, or use a lot of skill tickets. And so that can take a while on its own. Frick, I messed up. Heckin' messed up my skill loop, but it's okay, salvageable. Because I don't have to build the skill again, at least. Yeah, like I think earlier, like the very first game I played on stream, I used Bat Hat Mini, which was my previous coin farmer. She's pretty good, but she still only gets about like between like 4 to 5k ish on average for me. So it's like clearly Gaston is better by far, and I always mean like base coins because I don't pay attention to the bonus coins. 4 to 5k base coins on average without the bonus. And like Gaston is definitely the most accessible coin farmer. Like there's technically one unit that's better than him now, which is Namine when they had the Kingdom Hearts crossover, but it's been a minute since she came back, so I don't have her. And she's a limited time one, so most people who want her at this point don't have access to her. But Gaston is, I think, still in the permanent box, so he's available all the time, though he's at a pretty low pull rate normally. But you can use skill tickets, which are basically tickets that you get mostly from like events as event prizes, where you can use them on a tomb and it basically counts as getting one duplicate of them. So it's like with enough skill tickets you can level any character to max skill as if you were pulling for them from the gacha. And so that's how I got my Gaston to level 6. Premium box pull. Okay, well at least you're cute. At least you're a cat and you're cute. Yeah, and it's a little bit of a convoluted like path to be able to farm enough coins in order to actually like be a collector in Tsum Tsum. Yeah, I don't know what they're from either. We can check later. I don't remember either. But yeah, like the path, the general progression I think for Tsum Tsum is to like get some Tsums that are good at fulfilling missions for events, because all the events in this game generally have you clearing missions, and so you get a good pool of characters that can clear missions, and then by clearing those events you can get more skill tickets depending on the difficulty. And like, you know, the more you play, the longer you play, the more likely you are to like get dupes and like level up the Tsums you do have and stuff. And then once you get enough skill tickets, odds are at that point you've pulled Gaston at least once because he's in the permanent pool. And at that point you can get him to level 6 and start grinding for realsies. That's just how I play. That's how I play. Like, technically I made my account when I was in like high school when the game first came out, but I didn't play for like maybe like 4 years just because I got bored and I didn't have as much time, and I had other games I was playing at the time like Regalia Lost, Fire Emblem Heroes. Ooh, regret. JK, I don't regret, I just don't like the game anymore. Oops, I messed up. Because like Tsum Tsum is like not an idle game, you know? Like you can't play this game and grind for coins on an idle basis without like paying for like, there are some people who like do like have like automatic like playing things. I don't know what else to call it, which I think is lame, defeats the purpose. But it is also true that you can't really make idle progression in this game. You can't make AFK progression. Which is pretty much just from me. Okay, well, you know, maybe you need to get your news from other sources too when it comes to Fire Emblem Heroes. Not that it matters that much, but like, I'm sure there are people out there who still enjoy the game, but I think for the most part, what I hear now is that people who enjoy the game are in it just to collect the characters they like and are not in it for the gameplay. That seems to be my impression now. And it's like, in fairness, I do like some of the designs. Like, there was one hero-specific character, like not from a previous like mainline Fire Emblem game, where I'm like, ooh, he's hot, I like him. But then it's like, there's no reason for me to actually play him when it's like, all I'm into is his art, which I can just look up and look online for free. Like, I don't want him in-game because I don't play the game. So that kind of situation for me. Oh yeah, the characters now have like, every time someone has a new skill, it's like a whole essay, and I hate it. And it's like they redefine past terms, even though they give names to specific abilities, to specific effects, but then like every time they mention the effect, they redefine. They like put in the definition of what that effect is. So it's like, what's the point of making this list of defined effects if you're not going to just, if you're not looking to shorten the tooltips? It's stupid. And it's like, that's not to, and it's like, even if they did shorten the text properly and just had a glossary of those named effects, it's like, that's still a lot, you know? Like, to expect players to have to remember so many different effects, which at this point there are quite a few of them. And I just think it's lame. Yeah, it's like when I was younger, I got bored of Tsum Tsum, and that's why I stopped playing. But now that I'm a little older and I have less time to play games and keep up with patch notes and things like that, it's like, why X plus B? But yeah, it's like as soon as, yeah, now they're like abilities with like math. But yeah, it's like now, like I can really appreciate that Tsum Tsum has changed pretty minimally relative to other games that I've played over the years. Like, I haven't had to learn any new mechanics or anything like that. It still plays pretty much the same. Gaston has been in the game pretty much since the beginning. Like, he's a very old unit, but he's still like pretty much the best coin farmer, which I kind of appreciate, because it would be very frustrating, I think, if they kept releasing better and better coin farmers. So like, as someone who, you know, has an interest now in playing as a collector rather than like aiming for high scores or whatever, like I appreciate that. Yeah, like back to Fire Emblem, like I remember the first time I saw, I don't remember what the ability is called, but there's like a set of abilities now where it like relies on calculations from like your speed minus their speed and then like blah blah blah, and it reduces by 40% of your speed, and I'm like, I just don't know like how you could feasibly balance this, you know? Like, not that it's not possible, it's just that these numbers are so convoluted, I don't even know how as a dev you would begin to approach balancing anything so that you don't just power creep, because it's like, obviously the 40% number comes from somewhere. It was their attempt to make it so that this ability actually does something without being too strong, but at the time it became like one of the strongest effects that later would appear in a bunch of other new units. And it's like, I just don't know how you use that number to try and make sure that your future units aren't also just super strong, because they want you to pull. They want to give you a reason to pull, but they don't seem to know how to do that without just giving new characters an ability that counters the previous character's strongest unique ability, that kind of thing. Yeah, and it's like they've tried their best to make like the math behind how attacks are calculated more transparent, I think, with like adding more notes when characters are affected by certain buffs and debuffs and stuff. But like there's so many now that I think even with the availability of those tooltips, it's hard to really read how the damage is being calculated. Like I've seen a lot of screenshots by Fire Emblem players on like Twitter and stuff, just like in passing, where they're like, where it's like, you have a character that seems like they're super buffed up and an enemy that seems like they're super debuffed, but then when you hover over them to see what the result of the battle would be, it's like your character gets KO'd, and it's like not entirely clear why, you know? Yeah, and the game's like super old, but it's like, you know, it's I don't know. Like they've just been power creeping so hard so quickly. And they've tried to add some features to like balance it out for older units, but the reality is that the older units just can't keep up, and frankly the devs don't have a reason to help them keep up, because they want you to keep pulling for the old characters or the new characters. And on top of that, they release new features where it's like now you can power up your old character by buying a costume for them, and it's like you're gonna paywall this? Are you serious? You know? So it's like it just feels bad. Like as a concept, it feels bad for me to think about, let alone engage with. So I don't play it anymore. Yeah, like when the old content is what got you into the game, and then that old content ends up being basically left behind in favor of like trying to get you to get new content. It just feels bad. It just feels really bad. Especially when there's PvP in the game. When there's PvP in the game, it feels extra bad. Cause then it's like, with Fire Emblem, it's like so much of your ability to get pulls is tied to your engagement with PvP features, like the arena. And I don't like PvP personally. Like, I think it's why, like, Genshin does some things that are better. There are some issues I have with it still, but those are more related to gacha as a category broadly, which I can't exactly fault them for, because it's like, how else are you supposed to make money using this model? But it's like Genshin at least has somehow miraculously developed a system where like there are old characters that well, I guess the reality is that like some characters just aren't as good and have never been as good, but like you can use any character you want pretty reasonably, and there's no PvP requirement. At least certainly not in terms of combat. The closest to PvP they have are like mini games, event mini games. Yeah, PvP is a red flag to me, in all honesty, in a gacha game. Be right back, hold on. Okay. You've looked up who Socks the Cat is? He's from the Buzz Lightyear movie? Really? Oh, I thought he was from an older movie just because I'd never seen before. See if I can find it in here. Oh, you know what? Let's go by skill. He's likely to be a higher skill. That's not Socks. That's Oliver. I wish they would implement a better, like, navigation function for your tombs, because now there's so many. Like, look at this. Anakin Skywalker. There's too many. Whatever. It doesn't matter that much. We're just wasting time. Wasting time taking it away from the grind. Oh wait, have you never seen the Buzz Lightyear movie before? Like the trailer or anything? I haven't watched the movie itself, but I saw trailers and I saw how people reacted to how Buzz looked in it, because people were like, I don't know, people didn't seem to love how they made him look in the movie. And I think it had something to do with his hair, maybe, but I didn't have, like, any thoughts about it at all. I was like, well, they made another movie. I do seem to vaguely remember them getting backlash for, I think, putting a lesbian character or something. Yeah, they, like, yassified him. In fairness, though, it's been a minute since they made a Toy Story movie, and they're depicting Buzz Lightyear as, like, an actual person as opposed to, like, you know, a toy, like an animated toy. So I feel like it's not unreasonable for them to yassify him, in my opinion. Oh yeah, they put woke in it and people didn't like it. I still don't entirely know what was going on with that backlash. I try not to, I just don't want to know anymore, you know? Because I'm like, you know what, you people, like, if you don't like it, just don't watch it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Not to mention, like, apparently that character was, like, such a minor character that it's like, come on, you guys. Does it really matter that much? Like, it's not as if they made Buzz gay, even though he is. Look at the relationship with Woody. You can't tell me that he's not. Nor. Although I just gotta say, they, like, did the ultimate friend zone to each other by singing a song about how you got a friend in me, and that's it. You got a friend in me. That's it, so no homo. Those are my thoughts about it growing up. Buzz and Jessie a thing? Yeah, you can't convince me that the two of them didn't, like, that Woody and Buzz didn't have, like, a thing happening, you know? Like, I think they're just, like, in denial. Sorry to anyone who ships Buzz and Jessie and or Woody and Bo Peep, but they're friends in the same way Achilles and how do you say his name? I don't remember. I was gonna say Patrocles, and I'm like, that's not at all what his name is spelled like, though. So I must be wrong. You'd think that after playing so much Hades, I would know by now. Patroclus. But yeah, hashtag just friends. Patrocles, like Hercules, but different. Patroclus? Patroclus? Like that? Genuine question. Is it pronounced Hercules? Like is okay, so I know like that's like the other name for Hercules. Is it Heracles or Heracles? Genuine question. I have zero confidence when it comes to mythological names. Hair angles. Heracles. Okay, cool. I mean, listen, like, you write it in English, I'm gonna try and pronounce it according to English pronunciation if you don't tell me how else to say it, you know? So, it's not my fault that the name got romanized. Isn't there a philosopher? Socrates? No. I guess that's not spelled the same at all. There's no L-E-S at the end. Sophocles? Is that a person? Yeah, I thought Hercules was the Greek name, not Heracles. But I don't know. Sophocles. Like monocle. I'm sure so much of this stream I just look like I'm like sleeping because I'm looking down at my iPad. I wonder how I could position my camera so that it's like not like that. Maybe if I got a stand and positioned it right behind my thing? It's German in origin? Oh, monocle? English is like a whole bunch of things, to be honest. Especially modern English. I hope that at least when I'm reading chat, it looks like I'm looking up. Cool. I haven't seen any news about when Hades 2 is supposed to come. I haven't fully been keeping up though. Like, if I'm being honest, I haven't played Hades 2 like at all since I bought it for early release. Like, I played it for like a couple weeks and then I stopped for a while because I was like, I figure I should just wait until full release to enjoy, you know, all the features that it has to have instead of having to learn it. And also just because, like, you know, if the plot isn't fully finished, like fully released yet, and at the moment I'm enjoying the tone of the plot from Hades 1 better, and personally, then it's like, I don't know. I just wasn't having enough fun to play early release, I guess. Which is definitely not a dig at Supergiant. It's just like, you know, personal preference. And also, since then you have Baldur's Gate 3. You bought Baldur's Gate 3. You're allowed to enjoy the other games. Oops. And I still have Elden Ring to get through. I've been meaning to play that on stream for a while now, but Marvel Rivals! Yeah, I know I've been promising to play Elden Ring for you off stream already, but Marvel Rivals is just so fun. You want to play Elden Ring again too? I mean, what's stopping you? So, Asha is a new Tsum, and I've gotten her so many times now. 1, 2, 3. I've gotten her a total of 4 times now, based on the fact that she's level 3. Oops. She has boosted chances, so I'm not exactly surprised that I got her so many times, but I've gotten the new Tombs so many times, and not a single time have I gotten Jack and Sally yet. So I'm like, please, give me Jack and Sally. It's all I'm looking for right now. Baldur's Gate and Rivals are stopping you from playing Elden Ring, that's fair. I didn't expect to enjoy Marvel Rivals as much as I am, if I'm being honest. Just because I saw so many Overwatch content creators play it, and it looked really similar to Overwatch at a glance, so I didn't expect to get into it. But I am actually enjoying it a lot. Kanata playing Elden Ring? I mean, that's why VTubers play games, you know? That's why VTubers also get sponsors to play games. Because it gives their viewers the itch. I mean, you know, I'd be lying if like content creators, especially HoloLive people, didn't give me the urge to play a lot of games. Like, it's the reason I played Minecraft for a brief stint. Just fighting the hardest boss and pulled it off. Okay, Kanata. There are a lot of VTubers in HoloLive who are just like secret like boss gamers. And I feel like if their primary job wasn't to be like, you know, a VTuber idol, they would be like just absolutely destroying games. Like Okayu with her like early Mario 64 speedrun before she decided to delete the VOD. Okay, I got a last chain. That sounds so good. So catchy. Fun fact about the history of HoloLive gamers, by the way. HoloLive gamers is Fubuki, Mio, Okayu, and Korone. The reason they were formed is basically because like Fubuki invited Mio to be in HoloLive, and then they basically formed HoloLive gamers to have an excuse to debut Mio. So Mio debuted by herself, and then Okayu and Korone debuted together as part of HoloLive gamers afterward. Like, HoloLive gamers basically only exists because they wanted to debut Mio at the time. Which I think is kind of like if I were in Mio's position, I would feel so much pressure. Like, to have a whole, like, kind of a whole generation of HoloLive, like, formed basically because of me. I'd be like, oh my god, I need to do well so that it doesn't, like, so I don't make them look bad, you know? I don't make the corporation, whatever, look bad. Yeah, thankfully it worked out. Like, we got literally my favorite group of HoloLive streamers because of that. Uchi tayo, okami mio tayo, kuro kami, kemoni ni okami. Staying hydrated. Yeah, they were like, wow, you've been watching a lot of Hololive that we don't know your friend has been sending you relentlessly. And you like Elden Ring, so here you go, Hololive members playing Elden Ring. Oh, hell yeah. A lot of them, there's like a lot of them that have played Souls-likes. Like, Souls-likes are a very good streaming game, I think. At least I don't send you... I only send you, like, English subbed stuff, mostly. So it's like, YouTube doesn't assume yet that you understand Japanese, at least. Oh yeah, Fauna did a race with Kura. I've kind of been avoiding, like, all gameplay videos of Elden Ring just because I don't want to get spoiled. But it's like I'm also putting it off so much. It still gives you Japanese only. Oh, the streams themselves. Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense. But I just mean like, because I'm now getting recommended like Japanese like clippers, like people who like make clips for the Japanese members, but then like when they add subtitles and stuff, it's like all Japanese subtitles. Kind of like how you might do the same for English content creators, like just editing it to make it funnier or to emphasize something. So YouTube fully thinks I understand Japanese now apparently, which I kind of do, I guess. I need to take off my sweatshirt. I'm getting hot. Hardcore grinding. I wish I knew more. Like, I only know the amount I do because I studied it for so long. But I feel like the reality is that I've forgotten most of it. It's just that the stuff I do remember happens to be very commonly used, if basic. But yeah, I kind of wish... I kind of, like, have even considered self-studying on my own, just because, like, I think it's a shame I spent so many years in school and in college studying Japanese, only to forget it. Even though, you know, clearly I haven't forgotten all of it, which is good. You know what sugoi means? You know what? That's better than some people. Pull. No, it's Bell. We go again. But yeah, like, I even, like, found, like, an old, like, textbook slash workbook from, like, a series that of, like, Japanese textbooks that I used to use in college, and I was like, maybe I'll buy, like, another book and, like, you know, start self-studying, maybe. But the reality is, I don't know if I have the time for that right now, because, you know, I am in school. At least, like, I don't have time for that right now without sacrificing, like, other hobbies I have, which, you know, I kind of don't want to at the moment, if I'm being frank. As my other hobbies are a nice reprieve from grad school stuff. Your high school didn't have Japanese? Yeah, our Japanese, I think our Japanese program at my old high school is now non-existent, unfortunately. Cause like the dedicated Japanese teacher went to another school in the district, and then the remaining Japanese teacher, he's actually white, but he knows a lot of Japanese because I think he studied in Japan or something like that. Either way, his Japanese is like basically fluent, but I think he stopped teaching Japanese because like the program went away basically because there was no demand for it by the students, which I think is a shame. And because, you know, thankfully that teacher who I really like is still teaching because he is qualified to teach other subjects. He teaches other subjects now. I actually had him for US history too. So it's like he still has a job, but I think it's a shame that Japanese isn't gaining as much interest anymore at our school. Especially because like I would say the because like we basically only had enough people such that like each level had one class. So it was like really nice. Like I thought that was a really fun part of my high school experience where I progressed through the years having one class where everyone was like the same. Like people only left. There weren't a lot of new people or like mixing around. And so I thought that was very cool, but it's a shame to hear that it's since basically disappeared. And when I was in undergrad studying Japanese too, like the demand for it was very low as well, I think. Because my school was mostly STEM school, so it's like naturally I wasn't expecting the department to be the department or the program to be super huge. But like we also only had maybe like 6 people at most in my classes when I was studying Japanese there. Yeah, I think it might also just be because of the region, too. Like, I don't know, like, you live pretty close to me, IRL, and I'm not gonna dox us. But, like, you know, in the area we live in, there are a lot of, like, there are a lot of, like, Latino populations, so maybe that's the reason, like, because, like, Spanish was a very popular class at our school. So I was always under the impression that that was because there were a lot of Spanish-speaking communities in our area. And I also do genuinely wonder if like maybe there's a sense that like Japanese is a harder language to learn relative to Spanish and French, which were the other 2 languages we had. Because we had Spanish, French, Chinese, and Japanese when I was in school. And we had a lot of Asians, a lot of Latinos. So it's like there were a lot of people who already knew Chinese, or at least a basic level of Chinese, or maybe had parents who could speak Chinese. And so taking Chinese was a quote-unquote easy choice for them. And maybe similar with Spanish as well. French, I can't speak to. Because French was less popular, so I don't know. Maybe people were just interested in French. But Japanese, I could also see maybe like, because it's a completely different writing system, you know? And because like English doesn't take as many words from Japanese compared to taking words from French or Spanish, so there's less similarities. That's what I assume. Oh yeah, the medical field thing is also something that I heard. Yeah, like I would hear it from my relatives when I was deciding what language I wanted to take when I was in middle school. That's definitely something I heard where like people were like, oh, you could take Spanish, like there's a lot of Spanish speaking people, so it could be useful if you want to be a doctor, which at the time of course I did. Everyone in my community at my age feels like they want to be a doctor because their parents tell them to. Oh, you had ASL? That's really cool, actually. Oh, I messed up. I let go too early. Shoot. No. This is what happens when you grind too long, I think. You start to get a little fatigued. I'm gonna take like a 2-minute break after this game, I think. Oh, they added it after you graduated? Honestly, dude, after my sister and I both graduated, like, suddenly our school became so much nicer. It's kind of rude. Latin sounds interesting, but I also heard it was hard. I feel like Latin is like... It's interesting, but I also wouldn't have like a practical use for it in my life, I feel like. Yeah, like Latin is like, you know, it's not a modern language that people speak on a wide basis anymore. I feel like Latin would be useful and interesting if you were interested in becoming like a humanities major, like maybe a literature major or an English major. But I feel like, you know, for me, I was interested in STEM. There's not really any huge use. Useful for medicine because anatomical names are derived. You know, that makes sense too, actually. That does make sense, but yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, it's like, I feel like, sure, it can be useful, but also, you know, you could just take an anatomy course where you'll learn it anyway. To me, it would be kind of like if you took... It would give me the same impression of like, if you took Chinese in high school so that you could major in Japanese in college and not have to learn kanji. Like, it just seems like more effort than the payoff is worth in terms of what your goal would be. And it's like, you know, as someone who did know Chinese going into my Japanese classes, it was helpful to know Chinese, but I also got to that level of Chinese knowledge because I grew up speaking Chinese my whole life and speaking and reading Chinese my whole life. And so it's like, I wouldn't recommend someone who doesn't know Chinese to learn Chinese for the sake of having an easier time learning kanji later in Japanese. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Said I would take a break, but whatever. Here we are. Maybe as a mental break, I'll turn on the 5 to 4 bonus. I get less net coins that way, but it's a lot easier to recover from mistakes and to start setting up the skill loop. Yeah, I think Mandarin and Japanese are admittedly harder, probably much harder for someone whose first language is English compared to Spanish and French. If only because like Spanish and French, you know, they're like other, you know, symbols and stuff. I don't know. I don't know the languages, I guess. But like but like for the most part, the letters like look pretty much the same, you know? Whereas for Chinese, like Mandarin and Japanese, it's like completely different. So I can see the argument that it would be quote-unquote easier to learn Spanish or French compared to Mandarin or Japanese. Yeah, with characters, it's like you can't, there's like not really anything you can carry over from English. Oh, compared to AP classes? Yeah, that's so fair. I remember there were so many people at my school taking like AppLac and APush and also AP Gov when like they don't want to do anything related to those subjects, like directly related to those subjects. And I was like, it just doesn't seem worth it to me. Because like some of those courses like are pretty hard and then you have to prepare for the exams. And I was just like, I'm not interested at all in those. Yeah, I took AP Japanese as well. But also it's like I did have an interest in Japanese. So it's like there's more motivation on a personal level, even if it's not directly related to like my future career goals. But it's like US history and like AP Gov doesn't really apply to me as much when it comes to STEM. So I just figured not worth it. Ah. Oh yeah, AP Chem was pretty tough. I took AP Chem and AP Physics. AP Physics I thought was pretty easy. It was just like, you just have to know how to use the math. AP Chem was tough though. Did you take did your AP Physics have just mechanics or did you do the electromagnetic parts? Cuz mine was just mechanics, and so I thought mechanics was pretty easy in all honesty. When I got to electromagnetics in undergrad though, I kind of died inside. The best you did in any AP was AP Calc. AP Calc I think honestly AP Calc I have to give credit to my calc teacher in high school because she had been teaching calc for so many years and knew exactly what kinds of things were on the exam, to the point that she basically formatted all her exams exactly the way the AP exam would ask those questions. And so I felt so solidly prepared. Like, it just felt like I was doing homework. Like, it was crazy how well she prepared us. I don't know if I could have prepared as well for the exam if I had another teacher. It's crazy. Like, it just goes to show you that, like, sometimes these teachers really know what they're doing. Oh, you did electromagnetics? Yeah, well, we only did mechanics. Because, fuck that. Yeah, same. Like, we led up to it, like, the month leading up to the AP exam was pretty much just the exam preparation. Like, at that point, we had already covered everything that would be tested. Yeah, I think my AP Chem teacher, like, I think he was teaching AP Chem for the first time, so I think the way his class was structured, it wasn't as good in terms of, like, specifically preparing us for the exam, I think. You know, I don't know if looking back on it, I would change my mind about that opinion, but that's how I felt at the time. But he was still a very good teacher when it came to teaching us the concepts, and so I was still able to do pretty well. It's like, it's kind of crazy, like, how, like, you know, obviously this isn't everywhere. Like, I think we live in an area that has relatively good public schools, so we're very lucky in that sense. But it's like, there are like so many resources to prepare for AP exams out there, and like, it like, when you have good teachers, they just like know exactly how to prepare you for it. It's crazy to me. Like, even if I had those same resources, I don't know if I would have been able to self-study anything. Like, I wouldn't know what I needed to know. Because I took the AP Chinese test on my own. I didn't take the AP Chinese class, but I took the test on my own because that's what most people in my area did if they were Chinese speakers at home. And like, it was much harder to prepare for it. I thankfully did okay still, but like, it was much harder to prepare for it. I ended up taking a class anyway. And it was a lot. Yeah, it's like, thankfully, I think like AP tests, I think, can in some ways help you prepare for like SATs. Oh, oops. Can help you prepare for SATs. So it's like, it can kind of help when it comes to applying to college, I guess. But I think that since, like, most of the time, most schools only look at AP when it comes to fulfilling class requirements. Like, I don't think any schools look at AP when it comes to applying to a college. So it's like, I don't know. In hindsight, there's a lot of, like, there's like some APs. Like, for example, my AP Chinese, it ended up not doing anything for me in college because, like, I didn't, like, because I ended up taking AP Japanese, right? So, like, and, like, I didn't need to use it to fulfill any requirements. Like, at least with Japanese, it helped me skip a course because, it helped me skip some courses because I, had taken the AP Japanese test, and so I was able to skip some of the more beginner Japanese courses, but like my AP Chinese literally did nothing for me, I think. Oh wow, it's almost 6 already. Getting a little hungry. Ugh, Isabella! Yeah, I skipped like one calc course too. It's like, in fairness, the courses I did have to take were much harder, but also like, I feel like it wasn't necessary for me to skip that one course in hindsight. Because like, one of the main reasons I ended up taking Japanese courses in undergrad was basically just to fulfill like the requirements for how many units I was taking per semester. So it's like, you know, if they made a difference in me getting into the school, that would be a different story. But in terms of my actual progression through my undergrad program, like, it actually like was over preparation, and I ended up taking courses that I didn't end up getting to use because I didn't end up minoring in Japanese or anything, so I couldn't even use the credits from my Japanese course to fulfill anything. Yeah, like, to be honest, I don't even think it's necessarily like, because like, if I did, I think there is a world where I could have just graduated early. So it's like, I don't think the school was necessarily like, you know, maybe to an extent they do this so that like so that some people do end up having to stay longer. But I think that in theory I could have planned it so that I graduated sooner in undergrad, maybe. Like, it's possible. It would have been very tough because I was going through it at the time, but it would have been theoretically possible in terms of planning and timing. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, same. My coursework in my senior year was super light. In part it was because of COVID though, because my senior year took place during like the when everything was like most locked down. So a lot of things were remote and that was easier for me. But I also just like there were like some things I had to focus on just to graduate, and then everything else I basically took like for fun. Graduated directly into pandemic. Woo! My sister, I think, had it toughest. She was in high school and during the pandemic, and that sucks. Oh, you took some summer classes? Oh, that's pretty cool, though. I feel like summer classes often are stuff that, like, isn't really offered during normal class times, so... Oh yeah, we had a similar problem at our school too, where like one of the requirements that everyone had to take was the class sizes were so small that a lot of people couldn't get it the first time that they were like eligible to enroll for it. So it's like a lot of people had to like you're supposed to be done with it by like ideally by sophomore year, but then like a lot of juniors and even seniors on occasion had to take it because like the classes were so small that not everyone could take it at the right time, which I think is like that seems like poor planning if you ask me. Oh, you had to take it in your first year, and they didn't have enough room? That seems like very poor planning. Because, like, they should know how many students they're gonna accept. You couldn't even sign up for second or third year classes? That's very dumb. That's stupid. That's just really poor planning. Because, like, they know how many students are coming in. If anything, they should know, they can figure out how many instructors are available for this class, and then, you know, let in the number of students as appropriate. There's no reason that that should happen. was a class about giving speeches, like public speaking. If you fumbled or gave a bad speech, you would never have to see those people again. So valid. So valid. You wouldn't have to face that particular professor again either, probably. I mean, public speaking is basically just giving speeches. I guess it's not limited to that, but if you say about making speeches, I know what you mean. No, I fucked up. I wasn't paying attention to the loops. When will Jack and Sally reappear? Reappear? I mean appear for the first time. This is on track to be my longest my personal record for longest stream, just because I'm not getting that streamer luck. Me pretending not to care about Jack and Sally so they appear more often. I mean, whatever, they're a stupid couple anyway, right? Like, who would want them? I would be so upset if I got them right now. Ugh. What I'm really looking for? That Santa tomb that I have, like, I've gotten, like, at least 8 times or whatever. Ah! I fucked up. That's what I get, karma. I haven't actually seen Nightmare Before Christmas either. I just know the general premise, which is that, like, Jack Skellington is from the world of Halloween and, like, discovers Christmas or whatever. I don't know anything else. All I know is that there are a lot of people out there who really like it. I genuinely don't know if it's a Halloween movie, a Christmas movie, or possibly both, either. Scar. I mean, I love Scar, but like, I already have you. Scar is also a new Tsum, by the way. I think the Scar is limited, but he's also boosted at the moment. So you can expect to see him a couple times. More Christmas, but can work as Halloween. I mean, it seems like a movie you would watch, like, during November. Between Christmas and Halloween, if you want to pretend that Thanksgiving doesn't exist. Oh yeah, I heard Mufasa is out. Mufasa's out. I'm so funny. I make myself giggle. Have you heard what people think about it? Because I haven't seen a whole lot about it. I've seen one tweet where they were like, I didn't dislike it. It's the #1 movie in America, but it straight up isn't. Did Sonic 3 come out around the same time? And did it do better if it did? Because I think Sonic 3 is... Yeah, okay. That's the #1 movie, apparently. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, like, it makes sense just in the sense that, like, that seems possible to me. Yeah, I've heard good things about Sonic 3. And in general, I think the Sonic movies, the live-action Sonic movies, like, are one of the better things that Sonic as a franchise has done, because, like, if we're being super honest, the Sonic games are, like, extremely inconsistent in quality, and, like, the reason Sonic has survived so hard as a series is basically because of, like, the character designs, right? Like, because of the character himself. So, like, I think that these movies are probably, like, the best decision that they could have made as a franchise. Just because, like, everyone loves the design so much. Versus, like, if you compare that to, like, Mario, like, a lot of Mario games are beloved for their gameplay, in my experience. Like, in my perception. So it's like, when they made the Mario movie, I felt like a lot of people were like, why? And, like, you know, I heard it's a good movie and it looks like, you know, a fun movie, but personally I was also like, I don't know if you, like, needed to do this. Like, I don't know, like, apart from apart from just being presented with the opportunity to make a movie, I don't know if you would actively choose to do this for Mario. They hated Sonic as soon as he started talking. Oh no, really? Too much like, haha, yeah. I'm Sonic. Whenever I try to come up with a Sonic quote, I can only think of the one line from I think they're called Snapbox. I forgot what their group is called because I don't watch them regularly. It's like the group of, like, people who, like, voiced over all the cutscenes in, like, Sonic 06 and stuff like that. And then, like, in the beginning cutscene, there's, like, a scene where Sonic holds up a finger and Snap Cube, yeah, something like that. That group. But, like, there's, like, one line where, like, Sonic holds up a finger, and then the actor for Sonic, all they said was, haha, one! I'm like, that's the one line I think of whenever I try to come up with, like, a Sonic quote to say. Haha, one! Whenever I think of the restaurant chain Denny's, I also now think of that dub. Oh yeah, the when, like, his wife left or whatever. Oh, Hot Topic. That dub is, like, so iconic. Like, I kind of want, like, Sega to, like, make a reference to it in a game if they haven't already. But if you ask me to come up with any actual line that Sonic says in any official piece of media, can't come up with it. All I can think of is, haha, one! I just feel like this is just my opinion, but I just feel like that dub really like rescued Sonic 06. I don't even know if they would need to include like a line from it. They could just have like an item called the Snap Cube or something. A collectible item. Yeah, it could just be like a one-off thing. It doesn't even need to be like plot relevant. You could just have him like muttering to himself as he fixes his plane. This is my gamer pad. I should add that to my vocabulary. This is my gamer pad. I'm in it right now. The photo I use for the background of my stream, that's my gamer pad. Alright, I've decided. So I'm gonna stream until 6:30, and then I'm going to end stream and go cook some dinner, come back with food, and then I'll keep farming on stream while eating dinner, and I'll make like a part 2 stream. So it'll be 2 different streams, but same link with the /live. Because I am not ready to give up on this yet. Wait. Well, here we are. Yay! All right, well, I guess that ends today's stream. Just in time. I am getting like genuinely very hungry. So just in time, just in time. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. It's Jack and Sally. Finally, after a month. I'm so glad. I think I should start doing this more often. Maybe like I'll just save all my pulls in the future. And on the last day of each banner, I'll just pull on stream. And then if I don't get it, I'll just like do a marathon grind fest on stream. 2025. It's all coming together. All right. Well, I guess that ends today's stream. What a great ending. Just in time. Less than 3 hours actually. That's a lot. It took a lot less time than I expected. I thought it would take a lot longer. I thought I would have to be here like till like late evening. But we did it. We did it. 11 pulls, and it only took 4 pulls for the select box, so 15 pulls in total today over the course of 3 hours. That's not bad at all, I think. Alrighty. Well, thank you to everyone who stopped by. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this stream, I'll probably be doing more. the back to back, that was crazy. I was like, yes, yes. All right. Yeah. So thanks to everyone who stopped by. Um, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the stream. Subscribe to know when I'm streaming again. I will usually post it at least a couple hours in advance. And you can also follow me on Blue Sky. I will tweet skeet when I start streaming. Um, yeah. Thanks for watching. Have us stay safe, stay happy, and have a good night. Bye bye.